Okay. I will now call to order the special city council meeting of December 12th, 2022. Joanna, will you call the roll, please?
Mayor Leidy,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Wilford,
Here.
Councilmember Whitkovich.
Here.
Councilmember Hadamio.
Here.
Councilmember Kondo.
Here.
Councilmember Lukman Hiramasa.
Here.
Councilmember Goff.
Here.
Councilmember Brown.
Here.
Councilmember Walker.
Here.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session pursuant to section 4.5D of the City of North Glen Home Rule Charter for legal consultation and advice regarding potential personnel issues.
Move for approval.
Second.
Please open the vote.
My vote is yes, Joanna.
The vote is open.
Thank you, Leanne.
I will close that vote, and a motion to adjourn to executive session passes unanimously.
We will adjourn to Probably never use it because I lost it, but it wanders off a lot. We're ready?
Justice Center.
I will now call to order the regular city council meeting of December 12th, 2022. Members of the public are invited to attend in-person meetings in council chambers. Public access to the meeting is also available by telephone by using the call-in numbers posted on the meeting agenda. Meetings are broadcast on Channel 8 for Comcast and Xfinity subscribers and on the city's YouTube channel online. Joanna, will you call the roll, please?
Mayor Leidy,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Wolford,
Here.
Councilmember Whitkovich.
Here.
Councilmember Hadamio. Councilmember Kondo.
Here.
Councilmember Lukeman Hiramasa.
Here.
Councilmember Goff.
Here.
Councilmember Brown.
Here.
Councilmember Walker. Here. Thank you.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Heather, are there any responses to citizen inquiry?
Nothing this evening, Mayor.
Are there any additions or deletions to tonight's agenda? No, okay. We are going to start tonight with two presentations, so council, if you will join me down below, I would appreciate it.
Oh, it's right here. So, no, it's different.
Just resend it.
Just give it a minute.
Good evening. So our first one tonight, we are going to acknowledge the Gethsemane Lutheran Church. So I would love members of the North Glen Urban Renewal Board to join us. If you are with Nura, come on up.
We've all shared our blood, sweat, and tears for this.
And I'm hoping Pastor Oakes is here with members of the church to join us as well. Come on up.
Jeez.
Small little dig for our friend Rosie. Well, thank you very much. So I have a few words I would like to share. So we would like to thank Gethsemane Lutheran Church as a North Glen community partner for your assistance on the environmental cleanup efforts at the former Garland Center. So to provide some perspective on this important redevelopment project, Nura assembled and purchased the properties in the former Garland Center in 2011. Then they sold the property to Walmart in 2013. Part of the purchase agreement was that Nura would be responsible for the environmental cleanup caused by a former dry cleaner from decades before. This seemed like a small task at the time, but a decade later, Nura finally got the approval from the Colorado Department of Health and Environmental that the property had been remediated and the wells were decommissioned. We wanted to thank and acknowledge Gethsemane Lutheran Church and its team for assisting Nura with the environmental remediation efforts on these properties. You were an integral part of making this project a success, and we could not have gotten here today without your assistance. On behalf of the City Council and North Glen Urban Renewal Authority, we would like to present a symbol of our appreciation for your partnership with the city. And again, thank you for helping to make a positive environmental impact in our community. So we have this beautiful plaque. And you'll want to keep the stand.
You're gonna have to go up home more. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, again. Last one, everybody look, smile. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
You know, it's been a long haul.
I'm so sorry. We feel for you.
Thank you so much. It's been a long haul. Appreciate you being so patient.
And return to.
Appreciate things. Oh, yeah.
Thank you for being so patient. Oh, we appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm so glad you pleased
How old is that place? Ted Sparrow.
Okay, we're hoping that this little princess is coming up with her mama. Hello.
Hi, big girl.
Hello. Thank you for joining us. It's perfect. Hello. Okay, so this, I'm going to try to get through without crying, is my goal. I may not do it. Okay. I don't think I can, but I will try. I will power through. We have things. I'm going to have Shannon, do you want to hold this? And these beautiful flowers are for our friend Jemmy. Tonight is her last meeting. I can't do it without crying, so I'm just going to do it.
It's fine.
Okay, so our Mayor Pro Tem, this is her last meeting. She was first elected to City Council as a Ward 4 council member with me in November 2017. And she was re-elected by residents in 2021 to a second four-year term. Mayor Pro Tem Wolford was elected from among her council peers to serve as Mayor Pro Tem in 2019 and again in 2021. While on City Council, she had this lovely little baby. But she also served on the following boards and committees as an amazing rock star working mother. Member of the Legislative Policy Committee, liaison to the North Glen Senior Organization, ex officio member on the Parks and Rec Advisory Board, ex officio member on the Historic Preservation Commission. She's also served as the city's representative on the Colorado Municipal League Policy Committee, Colorado Communities for Climate Action Board, Adams County Sub-Regional Transportation Forum, Rocky Mountain Cradle to Career Partnership, North Area Transportation Alliance, and Denver Regional Councils of Governments. That's just a list of things that she's done. But she's amazing, and I'm so proud of her, and I'm so happy that she's gonna go do the work that she's always wanted to do for our state. So I'm so proud of you, but I'm gonna miss you so much. So other people, if they want to talk about Jenny, can certainly do that. I will pass the mic off because you don't want to listen to me blubber anymore. So if there's anyone here who would like to say any words, now is the opportunity.
I just want to tell you that although we hated each other at the beginning, those are some strong words, but we did hate each other. She's admitting it. I would sit in my backyard drinking a drink, and she would sit at her house drinking a drink, and that's kind of how we came back together, and a couple issues or not. But the growth that I have seen from you from the minute you started in city council is amazing. I respect you, which is really good, you know what I mean? She knows what I mean. And I think you've done a fabulous job, and I'm so glad that everything cleared out and we could enjoy some really good years together. So I really do appreciate you. Not gonna cry, because I already have today. Would you like to?
We'll pass it down. I just wanted to also thank Jenny for encouraging me to run for city council and helping me learn the ropes, encouraging me to be more active on the CC4CA, the Colorado Communities for Climate Action. And thanks to her that I'm now vice president, so I wouldn't have been without your help. And she's not only a wonderful supporter for North Glen and our residents, but she's also a great leader and has encouraged me certainly to do more than I would have otherwise. So we will miss you so much, but we're going to be so excited to see what you do down in Denver.
Oh, we're gonna hold you accountable.
Oh, I know. I know that.
Okay, I'm next. Thank you, Jenny, for your service to North Glen. You're the best advocate for the things you're passionate about, and you were that way here in North Glen, and I know that you'll be that way at the state level. And I told you more than once. She doesn't like what I'm saying.
She's sharing how I feel. I got the smile, she's got the feelings.
Well, I've told you more than once, I'm very proud and happy that I know you and that I've gotten to know you over the last 3 years. One of the most intimidating things I've ever done is go up against you for Mayor Pro Tem. But you are always encouraging me, and I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see what you do at the next level. Thank you.
Ms. Jenny, I don't know if there's anybody on council who, I probably have some different opinions on some very key issues, but I've never seen anybody so willing to reach across and make compromises and work. And I implore you to take that down to Denver, because that's what this world needs. It needs more of people like you. And so I expect big things of you, and I can't wait to see what you do.
Jenny, I just want to thank you for being such a great mentor to me, taking me under your wing. As soon as I was elected, we met, and you've given me phone calls, coached me up, and you've been a great role model here on the dais. And also, I know you're going to do so great. The House of Representatives, I feel like that too, because that's how I feel on the inside too. So, I also just want to say that. I did have to make a tough decision on my first night for Mayor Pro Tem. I was the deciding vote, and it was very difficult between, two, very wonderful women that are representing our city, and I know that everybody here in our district made a great decision to have you lead us, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you do, and because I know that you'll represent for everybody. And thank you.
Well, Jenny, our time has been short in terms of an overlap, but what I've observed when I hear you speak on the day is it is very much a very civil, very thoughtful way of communicating. And I hope you bring that to the state legislature because we need to have more civility in our government. And I think you'll be a great example, leading by example.
Oh boy. So I said this at our Ward 4 meeting, and I wouldn't be here right now if you hadn't given me that chance as a resident on that board, you and Escabel. And so for that, I'm forever grateful for you helping me, giving me that first foot in the door. And beyond that, when I was appointed and then elected, you've been there every step of the way, encouraging me. When I was like, am I doing this right? She's like, you're doing a great job, like you got this. And so your encouragement has been incredibly immense, and I am definitely gonna miss you. I feel like we've had just the best time at our Ward 4 meetings. I love our residents, I love the people that show up there, and it's obviously they love you too. So you've been an incredible mentor. And I'm just so thankful for you and for you just being there every step of the way and making sure, I had what I needed to do a good job. So I'm gonna miss you a lot, but you are gonna be so amazing. This is absolutely meant for you.
Yes. Yeah. That's always, I just thought it was extremely fitting that she had a small tantrum up here because those are some of our sweet memories of the crying baby on the dais. So she left us with just a lovely little piece of that.
I'll be happy she's not gonna be at every meeting.
Well, goodness, I made some notes because I didn't know if I was going to be able to remember everything. But first, I just want to say thank you. Thank you all so much. I didn't grow up in North Glen, but I feel like I've grown up in North Glen. We bought our house here. I moved so much when I was growing up that I just wanted to have one place to put down roots, and that's what we found in North Glen. We have had 2 kids here, and I found my love for public service and serving our community right here in the city. And I will tell you that I have learned so much. I have made a million mistakes, probably a million plus one mistakes, and learned and grown so much. And I love this community deeply. And I know that each and every one of you love this community deeply as well. And there's so many things that I'm going to take away from my service here, not only having do you remember we had an entire women city council, and it was at that time that Caroline was having feeding issues, and so she just started coming, and she was our 9th member of council, and I can't think of any other council in the state where that would have just been an accepting and normal thing to do, and so that was really special to me. I will say that building a community like North Glen that's so resilient and so special takes a lot of love and caring and feeding. And I remember when I came to council for the first time, it was a really hard experience. We had a lot of different personalities, we have different personalities in this room as well, but we weren't a team. And it makes me really proud to know that I'm leaving, and I genuinely care about every single one of you. I consider you all my team. I consider you all my family. I'm gonna miss you a whole lot. Because going to orientation, it's great. I get to meet my new team, but my new team's not my family here. So I'm not going far. And oh, damn it, Meredith. I'm not going far, and I look forward to putting everything that I've learned while I've been here on City Council to work for me down at the Capitol. I look forward to fighting for North Glen and doing everything that I can to make this community shine. So know that I'm never far away if you will need something. If you need advice, you just need to vent, or you want to share something really awesome that happened, you have my phone number, so call me. In addition to saying thanks to all of you, and to the mayor, who is exceptional. I want to say thank you to staff. You all work so hard for this community, and you lead every single day with your hearts. And you do so much to make sure that everybody keeps moving and that we have the best information that we can to take care of our city. And so I see you, I appreciate you, and I hope that you know how valued you are. And then finally, to our residents, thank you for the opportunity to serve this community. You all are truly our greatest asset. You're a whole lot of fun, and you're in exceptionally good hands with Councilmember Lukman Hiromasa, and with the rest of council and the mayor. So I love you all. I'm done talking. I'm just going to keep crying.
Well, we'll cry over cake. We are going to take a short recess, and we're going to have a small reception in this little space over here, have some cake, and then we'll be back.
No, let's take a picture first. We want a picture, right? Yeah. Okay. Can you hold your flowers there while you have it?
And the mic drops.
Yeah. Mic drop. Oh, jeez. Holy moly. Do you want to hold her? Okay, good. Do you want to take a picture with your stuff, or is that good?
Can you share those?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Can I, we need to get a picture of Jenny and I.
Those are amazing. Oh, thank you.
This is stuff
did it like
Jesus,
passing in the
Jenny.
hall, you know?
Oh,
Okay.
We
I
all
did.
want to get home. Well, out.
I will now reconvene the city council meeting. Thank you so much for your patience. We're moving into public invited to be heard. This is an opportunity for public comment on any item not set for public hearing. Joanna, is there anyone signed up to speak to council?
No, nobody signed up in advance.
Okay. Is there anyone on the phone who would like to speak to council? You may press star 6 to unmute at this time. Okay, we are going to move into communications. We will start with Ward 1, Councilmember Whitkovich.
Thank you, Mayor. Just 3 quick things for me. On November 29th, I attended the Adams County Commissioners' public hearing along with Councilmember Kondo, and we had the honor of accepting a grant. A little over.
1.7.
Thank you, $1.7 million to be used for the E.B. Rains Park improvements, security, I believe the bathrooms and all of that. On December 2nd, I attended the Noel Northglenn, which was a lot of fun. Thank you to everybody who put that together. And on December 3rd, I attended the Old Fashioned Christmas over at Stonehawker. Since I'm on the Historic Preservation Committee, and I baked a bunch of cookies that were sold, and so that was lots of fun. That's all I've got this evening. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilmember Walker?
Nothing tonight, Mayor, thank you.
Councilmember Brown?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Councilmember Jaramillo?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, to the report, so I attended the ADCOG Sub-Regional Transportation Forum, and it was the first one in person in a long time. So it was really nice that I was able to introduce myself and meet other elected officials and staff in other municipalities and really talk about what's going on in their cities. And I was also a few members of the ADCOG also would like for me to be on NADA. I don't know if anybody here is on NADA? Or it's Walker? Okay. I don't know if you would, some people asked if they wanted to, if I could do that.
Who's
since
your
it's-
backup on, where you are right now? Sorry, my brain's still not working.
With ADCOG?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Don't we have a second on there?
But if you,
I
if
do.
you want to keep it that way, but we could stay, on the same page more on this, because
We talk
just the
about-
continuity.
Switching up, you taking the outside aid, or I take the outside agency funding and giving you NATO. We can talk about that later.
We can talk about that later.
Okay.
So that will
Awesome.
come up when we find a replacement for Jenny.
Okay.
We'll have that
I
conversation.
didn't know if that was one of Jenny's.
No.
Okay.
It'll just happen because the new person will need committees.
Okay.
So that's your opportunity.
Okay, cool. Well, so there was that, and it was really, like I said, good to meet in person. Then also attended the Old Fashioned Christmas at Stonehawker, and it was really cool. It's like a time capsule here in Northglenn, so if you guys haven't attended, it's right on the edge of a Fox Run, right before you get to basically Carpenter Park and Thornton, so it's like, it does not feel like you're in Northglenn, Colorado. It's pretty neat, and it doesn't feel like you're in 2022, so I'd recommend everybody, if there's events out coming up at Stonehawker, to attend, and it's really cool. So other than that, oh yeah, we had the Northglenn Arts Humanities Foundation, our retreat, so we had it just next door at the rec center, and just more planning for next year, and we'll have plenty more City Hall art meetings very soon, but they're actually not too soon, about 3 months away. So we're giving the artist some time. We give her some direction of what we liked, what we don't like, what we see here in our future City Hall. So thank you.
Where was I? Councilmember Goff?
Thank you, Mayor. I also attended that art committee meeting, and it's going to be really exciting. We're going to have a wonderful piece of art in our new City Hall. December 2nd was the Noel Northglenn Night of Lights, and that was very well attended. It was so much fun. There was a survey for residents or people who came to kind of give some feedback on how much they liked it and what they did or didn't like about it, but it was really, everybody who was there had such a great time. And then on the 6th, I attended a Northglenn High School problem-based learning presentations. And these were the students got to choose from a variety of topics, and 2 different groups, the problem they were trying to solve was how expensive it is to go to college. So I know they're really thinking about it and aware of that, so I wish we could do more to help. December 7th was 2 ribbon cuttings, and I just wanted to kind of highlight Annabelle's Alterations, because now in Northglen, we have a place that you can drop off your dry cleaning. They have, they have some kind of cooperative agreement with a dry cleaner in Thornton. So you can not only get, tailoring done, but also drop off your dry cleaning. And also ribbon cutting for Dream Wellness Yoga. So I just wanted to highlight those 2. And then on December 9th, the holiday business after hours, which was to kind of honor our local businesses at the Stonehawker Farmhouse, which was great. So that's it for me.
Councilmember Kondo?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I only have one item. Actually, I'd like to dogpile on what Dr. Goff just talked about. The dry cleaning outfit is offering discount for Northglen employees, as well as for the police department and their uniforms. So I think that even though they're in Thornton, the fact that you can get discounted dry cleaning as a city employee is a really nice penny. On December 1st, I attended the CML governance training in downtown Denver. And if none of you have been at the CML building, it's very beautiful. And I think also one of the best kept secrets, because if you have some business to do in Denver, you can park underneath and do that for free. So the most important thing is I learned a lot there, but that's all I'm going to talk about now. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Oh, and I do want to thank my fellow council members for bringing all the loot and food.
All the treats.
I think I've just totally ruined my calorie count. Eating my cake. But I want to publicly thank my council members for being in the Christmas holiday spirit.
Councilmember Lukman Hiramasa?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Let's see, on November 29th, we had our Ward 4 meeting, which is Mayor Pro Tem Wilford's last Ward 4 meeting, but it was very well attended, even with the snow. It was definitely a very snowy, freezing cold day. It was a lot of fun. I just want to give a shout out to Scott McCabe from North Metro Fire Rescue District for doing an awesome presentation on fire mitigation, and Chip, I do not know his last name, from Crossroads Community Center, for hosting. It was a very fantastic event. And let's see, November 30th, I attended the State of the Rocky Mountain Partnership. It was my first since I've been on council, so I learned a lot about the partnership, which I did not know very much about before. December 2nd, I also went to Noel Northland, like many of my fellow council members, and it was really fun for me because I got to hang out with my 3-year-old granddaughter for the first time at Noel Northland, and she had a blast. On December 5th, I do have one council request. I had a brief introduction lunch with Superintendent Chris Gadowski, and per the mayor's direction, did ask if he would be willing to present to council. And so per protocol, that needs to, we need consensus if everybody's okay to have City Manager Geyer set up a time for him to present to council. He was very, very interested in having a conversation with all of us.
I think that's great.
Heather.
Thank you.
Excellent. And then December 6th, I attended the Youth Commission meeting, and I'm very excited because some of the youth will be able to attend the NLC conference coming up in March, and their essays are due on Monday, so I get to read some of those essays and help choose who will go. I'm very, very excited about that. These kids are amazing. Last but not least, we had our legislative committee meeting today, and there's really not much to report out on that. We're just working on the draft, so thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Wolford?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A couple of updates for me. First, to echo everything that Councilmember Lukman Hiramasa said about our Ward 4 meeting. We had such a great turnout, and it was such a lovely opportunity to share dinner with our residents and hear about some of the different concerns that they have and share more information about what we're doing as a city. It was a really nice send-off from the ward, and I encourage our residents continue to be as active as possible and to reach out when they've got an issue or something that they want to talk about. Secondly, I also attended Noel Northland, and I have to say my most favorite thing about the event It's a snowball fight.
Oh.
So much fun. So I hope as you all move forward and think about different iterations of that event, that you keep and maintain that one small activity. Third, I just wanted to quickly thank council for all signing on and sending the letter regarding Thornton City Council, or I'm sorry, Westminster's interest in reopening the IGA on Stanley Lake to allow for boating. I really appreciated everybody signing on, and what I was really heartened by was that Thornton also sent a letter and said that they were not interested in reopening the IGA. So I think that speaks volumes, that both of our communities are not interested in compromising or compromising on our drinking water, or potentially putting opening that up to any threat. So I hope that that sends a strong message to Westminster that we're not interested in voting or making good on their campaign promises. Lastly, as I'm making this transition into the legislature, like I said, you all have my phone number. It's not hard to find. Call, reach out. If you're ever downtown, let me know. I would love to give you a tour of the Capitol. And just so you all know, committee assignments did come out today, and I'll be sitting on public and health and insurance. I'll be sitting on state affairs, and then I'll be the vice chair of energy and environment. So
That's pretty exciting.
we didn't see that coming at all. But anyway, just again, want to reiterate my thank you for the opportunity to be on this journey with you all. And I wish you all the best of luck moving ahead. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Most of my announcements have already been covered, so I'm just going to say ditto on that. And just a final thank you and goodbye to our friend. But I would love, let's get the date for the breakfast where we get to come.
Yes.
Get that on the calendar.
Yes. Dome tours for everyone.
Yes, very, 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 very fun. Okay. Joanna, do you have any announcements tonight?
I do, just a couple quick items. Thank you, Mayor and Council. So this feels a little too soon after the presentation that we just had honoring Mayor Pro Tem Wilford. But because we don't have any other council meetings scheduled before the first of the year, I do want to let folks know that the vacancy that will be created when Mayor Pro Tem's resignation takes effect on January 8th, that process will be initiated, and individuals who are interested in applying to fill that vacancy can look for the application, which will be available beginning on January 3rd. So I wanted to make sure that everybody's aware of that date. And then just want to wish everybody a happy holiday season. Thank you.
Heather, any announcements tonight?
A quick thank you to Mayor Pro Tem. It's been an honor to work with you. Thank you for all your leadership and pushing us to think big and ensure that North Glen shines. So it's been an honor to work with you, and happy holidays to everyone.
Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of council. First of all, thank you for the holiday greetings, and I wish you all the best in holiday, and to the Mayor Pro Tem. I want to say this. It always makes my life easier representing the council to know the motives of the individual council members relate to what's best for North Glen. And I never had to doubt that. Having said that, now I'm struggling because you're going to the one place I strive to avoid like the plague. But having said that, I am confident knowing that your motives in making the lives of your constituents better will give a larger group of constituents the same benefit your constituents in Ward 4 had.
Mayor, can I say one thing to Heather?
Sure.
Hey, Heather, can you check with Excel? I'm not happy with the patchwork that they're doing throughout Ward 2. More and more of them are slipping down. And I know you said it was the cold weather and stuff, but I don't want to say it's inferior work, but I'm going to say it anyhow, because it's just within a matter of time that they start to go down. There's one on Irma now, and there's one on Claude, and there's one on 116th Avenue.
Yeah, no, I don't believe I said it was bad patch, that it was weather. I would say it's bad patchwork.
Yeah.
I found the one on Irma last week when I was investigating that other issue you called me about. So
Yeah.
the one on Claude must have snuck up, so we'll look at the one on Claude, and Kent will work with Excel I know they're doing work in the neighborhood, and so we'll try to get a handle on where they're working and encourage them to do a better job at
And
patching the road.
The contractors that are doing that should not be parking their cars overnight, their big trucks, in front of residents' homes. It irritates people. And we experienced that on 116th Avenue last week.
Okay.
Do you know if Ward 2 is the first place they started? Or have they been through other wards and did a good job? Fiber optic
do
cables
you
for the new
know-
things.
You know, let us ask more questions. I'm not aware of them. I have seen them in my neighborhood not doing work in the right of way. They've been doing work on poles. So we will ask some questions and try to find out. I know they were doing gas line work in Ward 2, which is why they're in the street. But we'll find out more and we'll get you that information so you can push it out to residents.
Thank you.
I don't know why
appreciate
they're
that.
leaving their trucks overnight, so we'll ask about that
Me
as well.
either, but they most definitely are.
Okay.
I went home one night, the way that the resident told me, on 116th Avenue, and there they were, and they felt like they, some people don't realize that it's a public street. And then when it turns out to be a work truck, they even get even, So I appreciate your help, Heather, and I'm sorry that I had to jump in at the end.
No, it's okay. You just said Excel, and I went, oh, there are 6 holiday lights out on 104th.
Okay.
I got that
drove-
call 2 weeks ago.
I drove
On the east side or west side of 25?
both. And some of them have Excel lights that are also out, and some have Excel lights that are working, but our snowman, ours not. So there were 6 total from city to city. I'm slightly obsessed with those because I drive that all the time. And I just look at them, and when they're out, I get sad. And I haven't texted you yet. I just
You
thought to
can
tell you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, I will follow up with Amanda Peterson and find out why those aren't working.
Even Joyce got a call on that.
It's like, whew. Okay, we're moving into the financial report, October 2022 update. Jason Loveland, our Director of Finance, is here to present. Hello.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. So no presentation tonight, as typical on just a regular monthly update. So we'll go through the packet for the interim financial reports through October. Starting off with an update on sales and use tax. So these are numbers through September for the October report. Sales and use taxes are up 7.1% compared to the prior year. And as referenced, 2021 was up 23% at this time. So about 30% over the period, after 2020. And about 4.5% up since 2019. Some of the major components in the sales and use tax world, sales tax specifically up 8.5%. The food tax is up 10%. Keeping track of the marijuana tax down 16.7%, continuing on that trend of being about 15% to 16% down for the year. Auto use tax was up 1.6%. That had kind of been lagging behind year over year for the last couple of months. Kind of broke that threshold of being in positive territory for the year.
Jason, I think on the marijuana tax, you'll start to see that going back up. Many of the local businesses are reopening their pollinating stations and their grow houses again. So I think we'll start to see that go, at least level out somewhere, but it won't be until 2023. That's exciting news for the council.
That is exciting news.
I mean, the marijuana council.
And we're close to 2023, so we look forward to that in just about a few days.
Well, I think it's gonna take a little longer than that.
Okay, well, we won't report on it immediately, but we'll keep track.
I just wanna see that number stop going down.
So, starting with the general fund, to go over the revenues and expenditures there. Total revenues in the general fund are at $27.3 million, which is up 10% over the prior year. A couple of pieces there. Total taxes, you'll see on that top third of the page is up 2.3%. Use tax is down just about 15%. That's specific to building, construction, permitting, things of that sort. at Carl's Farm that happened in 2021 that we expected to tail off this year. Other highlights, I guess, if you will, charges for services up about 68%. Those are the recreation revenues and the participant revenues for that facility. Fines and forfeitures down a little over 15%. Last year at this time, they were up 27, so we kind of have I guess they're not trending in any one direction over the last couple of years, kind of an up and down world in the fines and forfeitures that we're seeing. Investment earnings up 27%. Last year, they were down 39%. That's just because of the market and our long-term hold on investments. We're never losing any money, but it's the timing of the market and what the expectations are there. So big gains in the investment earnings, but overall tracking for the most part with budget. And nothing negative to report on the revenue side as a whole in the general fund. And then on the expenditures, so this is on page 3 of the report. Again, things are in line with budget. This is broken down by department. The spending rate, we're 83% of the way through the year at this time. You can see on that total operating expenditures where our spending's at 76%. Typical 76 to 80% through this part of the year. So nothing out of the ordinary. A couple of departments, human resources, we prepay our insurance premium, which was about 20% higher this year. So it reflects overall in the timing that they're a little ahead of schedule on their spending for their department. Other areas, I will note that overall on that total expenditure, operating expenditures line specifically, total expenditures are up 17.7% over the prior year. We had budgeted an increase of total expenditures of 22%. So again, falling in line with what was planned within the budget, and then the timing, the spending rate, if you will, for the expenditures of the general fund. I don't think I mentioned the total expenditures, operating expenditures are at $25.6 million. And then the other financing sources and uses, the majority of that is transfers to the capital projects fund. So that makes total general fund expenditures $36.7 million through October.
Mayor, can I ask, please?
Yeah.
Jason, the fines and forfeitures, are the fines from the police department?
Yeah, those are things like traffic tickets, court costs. Traffic fines makes up the majority of that.
Thank you, that's what I
budget.
wanted to know.
Yep. And then, let's see. So moving to the water fund, total revenues of $13.2 million, total expenditures of 9.4. Again, on the revenue side, total revenues up 5.4% year over year. Consumption on the water charges is down slightly, leading to the 5.4% decrease in water charge revenue. Operating expenditures, again, those are in line at 77% of the spending rate. And then being up 7% is in line with what had been budgeted. So I'll move on to the wastewater fund. Total revenues of $4.6 million and expenditures totaling $8.8 million. Operating expenditures at 64% spend rate, that's typical in that fund. Capital outlays $6.3 million, which is really the driver for the majority of the expenditures. And overall, we've spent about 50% of the capital project budget that we had, and then in turn about 50% of the total expenditures for that fund. Next is the stormwater fund. Total revenues of $421,000 and expenditures of $119,000. Operationally, being at a spend rate of 65%, prior year was at 58%. The majority of that is staff related expenditures. The capital outlay, those are project-specific that are spending of $300 of the $527,000 budget. So I think that those are still being planned and designed at this point. And then the last fund, the sanitation fund. We've got total revenues of $1.5 million and expenditures totaling $2.1 million. Again, sanitation revenues, at this time, the trash charges, 78% is typical for this time of the year. We'll have one accrual on the very final December reporting. We'll catch that up to be near 100%. No changes overall in the revenue. There's a couple of line items that are moving up and down with polycart revenue and recycling revenue, but those are pretty minor to the tune of $10,000 or $30,000. So overall, revenues are where we expected them in comparison to the budget, and spending is as well. You'll notice large capital outlay in 2022 of $855,000. And you'll also see in 2021, we had spent $0 because of the delays. So we're just catching up on 2022 planned expenditures and catching up 2021 spending that did not happen. And then on page 11, it's the tax collected by a geographic area within the city limits. You'll see just a handful of areas showing a decrease in revenue year over year from 2022 to 2021. Those are at Malley, Washington Point, Washington East, a slight decrease, and then Office Plaza. Looking a couple years back, the only area is Office Plaza that has had 2 consecutive years of being down with their tax generation. The overall, I mean, you'll take a look at the marketplace, up 9%, which is really great when you look at it. And then overall, the geographic area sales tax within Northglenn is up just under 5%. So positive things happening within the city on the revenue side. And that is all that I had to say, and I'm happy to answer any questions regarding financials.
Any questions from the council? Councilmember Goff, do you look at your hand? No, okay. You're just leaned in, I wasn't sure.
It's small print.
Okay, yeah, that's real. Okay, well,
thank
thank
you.
you. Have a good night. All right, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Please vote.
Okay, I will close that vote, and the consent agenda passes unanimously.
Thank you. Okay, public hearing, CB 1998. Joanna, will you read the title, please?
A bill for an ordinance amending Article 8 of Chapter 4 of the Northglenn Municipal Code regarding the Community Co-Production Policing Advisory Board.
Motion approved.
I will now open the public hearing on CB 1998. Is there anyone who would like to speak either for or against CB 1998? Is there anyone on the phone who would like to speak at this time? You may press star 6. Hearing none, I will close the public hearing. Ordinances on second reading, CB 1998. The Community Co-Production Policing Advisory Board Ordinance Amendments. Is there a motion to approve on second reading?
Move for approval.
Second.
City Manager Guyer is here to provide a summary.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The ordinance before you this evening consists of 2 changes to the existing ordinance. The first change is the timeline to fill the vacancy, extending that from 45 days to 75 days. The second change is the composition of the board. Council's moving forward with reducing the number of board members from 13 to 11 board members. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
I see none. Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Please vote.
I will close that vote, and CB 1998 on second reading passes unanimously.
Ordinances on first reading, CB 1999. Joanna, will you read the title, please?
A bill for an ordinance repealing and reenacting Article 9 of Chapter 16 of the North Glen Municipal Code regarding historic preservation.
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay. Our Director of Planning and Development is here, Brooke, to provide a summary of this item. Hi.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm just here to see if there were any questions prior to the public hearing, but we are essentially just setting this for public hearing for at the January 9th meeting, I believe.
Okay. Any questions for Brooke tonight? No, great.
No, Brooke, I don't have any questions.
Thank you. Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Please vote.
We'll close that vote, and CB 1999 on first reading passes unanimously.
We have two resolutions tonight. The first one, CR 171. Joanna, will you read the title, please?
A resolution supporting the Diversity, Inclusivity, and Social Equity Board's resolution affirming the importance of religious diversity in the city along with all other forms of diversity.
Move for approval.
Second.
All right. Tamara Dixon, our Director of Human Resources and Chief Diversity Officer, is here to provide a summary. And it looks like you have a guest.
I do. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Mayor Pro Tem Wilford, congratulations again. Thank you for all of your supportive staff since I've been here for the last 2 years. Thank you. You will be missed. So in June of this year, I became the staff liaison to the DICE board. And at that, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilwoman Brown. At that time, the board began working on an anti-hate resolution with Hillary Graham from Corey Hoffman's office. And here tonight to tell you a bit more about that resolution that we are asking you to affirm is Everett Renberg. He is the chair of our DICE board. I will turn it over to Everett.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. This is at my discretion, right? A little bit, you know, within like a margin, like I can move it, for example.
Oh, sure.
Okay, cool, awesome.
You can do whatever you want with it.
Okay, not good, I'm just kidding. Good evening. Before I begin, I would like to thank everyone here for their work and for their commitment to the fundamentals of a free and open society. I realize that it is easy, and it is often a habit of ours to watch crises unfold with worried fascination or ineffectual awe, but our community and this assembly here have proven themselves particularly apt at addressing some of the most pressing and imperative issues that have been so predominant in contemporary culture and in contemporary politics. It must be unequivocally stated that hate, no matter how great, and in whatever medium that it might take shape in, cannot exert itself or its nature in our community. Hate is the antithesis of our democratic republic and is a direct contradiction to our devotion and love for one another that makes our collective whole safe, stable, and open. Our absolute and objective oath to liberty and freedom, to equality and fidelity, has brought us here today and has prompted the DICE board to draft and support the following resolution, 2201, or the anti-hate resolution. I have no intention of disproving or invalidating the substance of hate, for there is none. I likewise refuse to harbor or to provide any platform for hate. And so without explicitly stating here the specific reason why we drafted this resolution, I implore this assembly and our community to affirm that we as a collective whole denounce discrimination and hate, no matter what the basis of such thoughts and feelings are contingent upon, in whatever form it happens to take form in, and that this community is espoused to the virtue of equality under the law, the equal protection of all by the law, and the equal opportunity for all. Thank you very, very much for your time and your support. Are there any comments, concerns, questions, or criticisms that I can address at the moment from anyone?
I'm looking to see. I see no hands raised. Councilmember Goff?
I couldn't find it with all the windows open. I just want to say thank you, Everett, for coming and speaking for the Diversity Board. I know that the board has been working on this for quite some time, and
That's right.
appreciate you coming forward to speak.
No, I appreciate, again, all of your work and the work of my colleagues. Again, all of us are devoted. And I think, I would say that we are all very passionate about, what it means to be human and the sort of human element that, again, our society is again, espoused to. So, yeah, thank you very, very
Thank
much.
you. Councilmember Kondo?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. First of all, thank you for presenting. Very compelling notion here, and I'm just kind of curious, how do you think you'll be able to leverage this when a resolution gets approved? Do you have kind of a communication plan or a marketing plan? Is that kind of the next logical step here?
I think that again, love and equality and fidelity, again, all the things that this all really represents is something that in itself, galvanizes a sort of soul and spirit. Definitely speaking to the community upon, this, our relation with respect to, the wider community is incredibly important. And that's really the plan. The plan is to, really spread the message, and I think you guys affirming this is living proof of the fact that institutions, and especially here in the United States, truly believe in equality and freedom and liberty and all of these things.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Brown?
Although I agree with you that just doing the proclamation is good to get the word out that we back it, but I'm wondering from Diana's perspective what we can do to celebrate this as a city that we're standing behind.
It'll be part of the legislative recap and connection as it usually is, but it really is at the discretion of DICE. If they'd like to do more, always here and there to help them out.
So think about how you would like to use the city to get your message out, because I do think this is really great. And it's not enough for us just to vote on it. We need to get the message out that we are everybody,
Absolutely,
And it
absolutely.
matters not of anything else.
Absolutely. Just like what I touched on before, the ineffectual awe, the worried fascination,
Yeah.
These things aren't benign at all, culturally speaking or whatever, and I think we'll definitely talk about this more as a group.
I appreciate
I appreciate you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Did you get cake?
No, but thank you. I was offered many times.
All right, please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Thank you, please vote.
I will close that vote, and CR 171 passes unanimously.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
You did great.
Okay, CR 172. Joanna, will you read the title, please?
A resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement between the City of North Glen and the Todd Creek Village Metropolitan District regarding water infrastructure design, construction cost sharing, and perpetual capacity allocation for Section 36 water services.
Motion to approve. Second.
Kent Kisselman, our Director of Public Works, is here to provide a summary. Good evening, Kent.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council, for having me this evening. Yeah, long time in the works for this one. Many of you have probably been dreaming about water up at Section 36 for a long, long time. I know we all have, but about 2 years ago, we had the opportunity, Todd Creek Valley approached us, and we began discussions, and here we are today to approve this IGA to bring water to Section 36. So in your packet, you'll see kind of where it's going to start, come down the road there about 1.5 miles, and they'll be dropping it off and capping the line and installing the meter at the end of line there. And then we'll take it from there. So now it's our job to do some design. But, currently that entire section in the water plant runs off of non-potable water. And some of the projects, the biofilter and those things are going to benefit greatly from having water at that section. So the cost is $6 million, $3 million up front, $3 million upon completion. engineering staff and Public Works will be heavily involved in the construction and monitoring and making sure that, it's getting done to our standards as well. And I'll answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Councilmember Brown?
My question for you is, so they'll do this water line and they'll put it under the road, right?
It may be on the road or it might be on the side of the road.
Okay, my question was is that the road sucks. We all, have talked about that.
That's not our road.
Well, I know it's not our road, but we're gonna pay $3 million for the additional line and everything that goes up there. I'd like to make sure it's gonna stay safe. I'm perfectly aware that it's not our road.
The construction standards will, be on the pipe itself. So they'll dig the hole, they'll place the pipe, the bedding will be in, all of that will be to a standard. The road, they'll patch it, but if it is in the road, but that won't have any bearing on the pipe itself.
I get that. I just wanna make sure that we're, when we did the uptake for the A line that came up Irma and everything, for me, that was a very disappointing situation. I don't know why there were so many things that were going wrong, and I know that each time that I brought it up, it was I felt like it was kind of downplayed. But I would hate to see something happen again where it causes problems. I just really would hate to see that. And plus, I don't want to see the city, I know it's not our road, I understand that, but I don't want the city to incur any more costs that could come down.
Councilmember Brown, we can follow up with the county and see, I don't know where Thornton's right-of-way is and that sort of thing. We can follow up and see if there's any plans to improve the road. If so, when? Is there an opportunity to coordinate timing? If no plans, is it within the next 5-10 years? We'll ask those questions to address your concern.
Thank you very much, Heather.
Councilmember Goff?
Thank you. So this isn't really a question, it's really more for our residents listening or watching from home, that you said it's going to cost $6 million, but the funds we already have that in our water fund, and that currently stands at $14 million.
That's right. And it's a special fund that is only able to bring for water rights and water purchases.
So it's not like it's coming out of some other general fund or?
That's correct.
Yeah, want to make sure.
Councilmember Kondo?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm just wondering, if looking at Exhibit A, is that additional red boundary area in the northeast quadrant, is that the area that we're providing water, essentially?
The entire section, the entire outline is section 36. So if you go to the Exhibit C, better depicts what the city of North Glen owns.
Okay.
So then that is our area, and then kind of bisecting the section, and then just to the west is our wastewater treatment facility.
Yep.
And so, but they're gonna bring it to the east boundary, and then we'll need to pick it up from there and bring it onto the property and.
Okay, so this is just potable drinking water strictly for the wastewater facility or for the people?
No, it's for future development.
Oh, for
I mean,
future
it's gonna be a
development.
24-inch line, and it's gonna be fully capable, and they'll serve it, and so we'll be able to build off of that line, and run truncated or main lines throughout section 36 where we deem, future development could happen.
Okay, understand.
And that'll be on us. That'll be our onus. That'll be our project, so.
Okay.
The team and I will be looking at, kind of ramping that information up and seeing so that the timing, we don't want to bring the line in the end of 2023 and then let it sit there for 3 years while we're pumping water to a cap. So we'd like to, get on board, and we'll be presenting those options to you of what those costs could be to bring the water. But the first project is to get water to and through the wastewater treatment plant.
Understand. My interest, of course, is the North Metro Fire Training Facility there and that strip there. So.
Yeah, and they're in Broomfield, and they've approached us. We're currently working, a little off track, we're currently working, and Tamara's here. They want us to treat their wastewater, but we have to make sure that there's an agreement that we can augment that water. Because again, you heard in Water 101.
Yes.
You take, you give, and so we're also working with that, and we're working with North Metro, but that's a separate project.
Okay. kind of think of it as Ghostbusters, don't cross the streams, kind of. Okay.
Madam Mayor, if I could, because we've been negotiating this for a long time, and so I guess just so the council is clear, we're essentially getting two things from this agreement ultimately. One is water service absolutely to our plant, but the other is that Section 36 has never had any potable water service. And so what we are buying, in addition to the service to our plant, is allocation that will be available to the remainder of Section 36, so that what could previously not be developable at all has the potential to be developed for things like industrial uses.
Talked about that already. Okay, cool. Mayor Pro Tem Wolford?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Corey took the words right out of my mouth. This is so exciting. Thank you, Kent. Thank you, Tammy, for working on it. We have talked for years with Debbie Tuttle, and hearing her frustration that we've got so many industrial businesses that start up here in North Glen, want to expand and have nowhere to go. And we've always talked about being able to have more industrial opportunities in our Section 36, and this is going to make that possible, as well as create a space for our businesses that want to grow to have that opportunity. So thank you. This is a huge deal for our city, and I'm really, really excited to see it happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Final word. Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Please vote.
I will close that vote, and CR 172 passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kent.
Thank you.
All right, public invited to be heard. Opportunity for public comment. Is anyone in the audience that would like to speak to council at this time? Is there anyone on the phone? You may press *6 to unmute. Okay, hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session pursuant to Section 4.5A of the City Charter for personnel matters regarding city council appointee evaluations.
Move for approval.
Second.
Please open the vote.
Vote is open.
Please vote.
I will close that vote, and the motion to adjourn to executive session passes unanimously.
We will adjourn to executive session.